Hello dear students, welcome to the another video tutorial of mammalian histology. In that we have proceeding towards the next point of the histological study of the organs that is the fourth point, that is alimentary canal in your textbook. Okay, so let's start with the alimentary canal. Okay, so you know that the what is elementary canal is. Okay, so the elementary canal is mainly referred to as the pathway by which you that your food enters in your body. Okay, so and moves from that passage. Okay, and out through the anus. Okay, so you just ingest from your mouth, and then the by means of the defecation, okay, the undigested food thrown out of the body, okay, at by means of the stool. Okay, so it is the tube like structure, the alimentary canal, which starts from the mouth and ends with the anus. Okay, so the alimentary canal plays a primary role in the human digestion and also termed as the digestive tract. Okay, so there are various steps of the digestion. First of all, ingestion. Okay, then will be the assimilation. Okay, then in between churning, swelling, then will be the assimilation. Okay, okay, and then will be absorption, and then will be the defecation. Okay, so while performing this particular path and steps by one. Okay, so the organs that alimentary canal plays important role in this particular digestive system tract. Okay, so this digestive system, which is a main one of the main system which going to complete your needs of your uh, sources for the energy which you consumes by means of the food. Okay, and the assimilated nutrients and micronutrients are absorbed by your the cells of the small intestine, then it going to processed on it, and your metabolical uh, energy is going to synthesize from that particular process. So the main organs of the alimentary canal are the mouth and the oral cavity, then will be the esophagus, okay, then will be the stomach, then will be the small intestine and large intestine. Up to the last session, we are uh, taken information about the tongue. Okay, so in this session or the coming next 3 or 4 sessions for the alimentary canal, we will collect the information and try to understand the process, the inner process of or the inner combination of the digestive tract organs. Okay, so the digestive tract organs are esophagus, then will be stomach, then small intestine and the large intestine. Okay, there will be the very numerous of information to you for you people to understand how our digestive system works microscopically. Okay, so we will start with the esophagus. Okay, and we will further that we will start with stomach and so on. Okay, so let's start with the alimentary canal and the what are the structure of the alimentary canal is. Okay, and the basic or the general plan for the alimentary canal. Okay, we will see. Okay, as you can see, this is your digestive system. As I said, it starts with the mouth. Okay, then teeth, the mechanical support of the for the cutting of the food and churning, and salivary glands for the bolus formation and having the amylase that going to digest your starch. okay, and then pharynx, okay, then will be the esophagus, okay, and then the gland associated with the digestive system will be the liver, okay, then will be the main part that fundic regions for the storage of the food purposes, and then will be the some processes on each which acid secreted by liver as well as the pancreas and all these supporting digestive glands, and that process, that semi digestion of the food is taken place into the stomach, while the some acids going to act on the food you have ingested, okay. So then it will be the pancreas, the again the supporting gland, okay, eighth number. So as you can see the positions of these particular organs into the digestive tract system, okay. So then will be the large intestine, okay, and then small intestine, the inner one. The very first will be the small intestine and then is large intestine, okay, and then will be the rectum and then will be the anus, okay, where the undigested food, the fecal material is thrown out, okay. So let's start the general plan, okay. So let me introduce you people to the basic histological organization of the alimentary canal is, okay. So the alimentary canal is divided by the structural and functional modifications, okay, though that going to into the series of the regions. As I said, the mouth, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, duodenum, jejunum. Okay, these are the parts of the small intestine: duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. And then the large intestine. Then the its part will be the colon. We will see, and including the rectum and the anal canal. Okay, so although the various organs that the alimentary canal exhibits into the structural and functional variations, but they have a uh, common fundamental plan, that is nothing but the digestion, okay. So the alimentary tract has four concentric cylindrical tissues, okay, in that the coat is around the central lumen, okay. We will always start with the central lumen, okay, that will be the innermost part, and then we will shift towards the outer part, that will be the middle part, and then outermost covering, okay. So the these codes, okay, for the central lumen, these codes are the that are simply explained by means of the coined by one term named as the tunic, okay. You will say some words like the tunica, okay, that means it will be from the that coat of the central lumens, okay, and the mucosa or the mucous membranes, okay. So this will be the one part of the from the lumen, okay, that will be the layers of the these particular coating of that tube, okay, from lumen to the outermost coating, okay. So then will be the mucosa or the mucous membrane. Then second part will be the submucosa, which will be the middle part. The it also named as the muscularis externa, okay, and then will be the serosa, or it also coined as the fibrosa somewhere in some textbooks, okay. So what is the mucosa is, mucosa will be the innermost coat of the alimentary canal, okay, then it having the epithelial lining of the cells, okay. We will come towards the esophagus as you going to see the slide of the esophagus, but we will come towards it, but I just explaining the general plan of the alimentary canal. So the epithelial linings having with the innermost lining, that nothing but the uh, mucosa linings, okay, and then will be the basement membrane. It's also coined as the membrana propria, okay. So the membrana propria is the thin and non-cellular homogeneous layer below the epithelium layer. Okay, so then will be the lamina propria, that layer, it having the alveolars or the reticular loose connective tissues that going to layer contain the fibroblast, the macrophages, lymphocytes, glands and fibers. Okay, so the lymphoadenols, that capillaries having that lateral, this layer gives the support towards the mucosa layer and connects it with the muscularis mucosae. So the lamina propria serves as a packing tissues. Okay, and that packing tissues of the lamina propria going to um, these layers going to support with the mucosal layers and going to connect with the muscularis mucosae. Okay, so it going to facilitate the transport of a nutrient absorbed by the mucosa layer, and then will be the muscularis mucosae, the next layer after the lamina propria. It will be, it is thin layer of a smooth muscle fibers going to arrange in the circular and the outer longitudinal parameter just below the lamina propria. Okay, so the sublayers formed by the outer boundary of the mucosa layer going to, then the second layer will be the mucosa layer or the submucosa after the mucosa. Then submucosa will be the second layer after mucosa, and the muscularis mucosae, lamina propria, and what I said, that lamina propria as well as basement membrane and the epithelial lining are the linings of the mucosa layer, which is the first layer of the alimentary canal. Then will be the second layer of, that is nothing but the submucosa. It's formed by the loose connective tissues and which contains the plexus of the blood vessels and compound glands going to having with the glandular tissues, lymphoid tissues. Okay, then will be the lateral plexus of nerve fibers and sorry, and going to ganglion cells going to minces the plexus also occur in the submucosal layer. So muscularis externa will be the third layer of the alimentary canal. This is I am explaining the about general plan, and you will see somewhere in the next going to organs plans. Okay, whereas these layers going to not going to change their sequence, but at some point some modifications in their layers are going to having as the requirement of that organ. Okay, so the third part will be muscularis externa. It consists of the smooth muscle fibers, okay, of two type, and it will having with the inner thick layer of the circular muscles and outer longitudinal muscle fibers. Okay, so the two layers that going to separate by thin connective tissues. Okay, so we will get starts with the what are the general plan, as I said, of the digestive system. Okay, this will be the general plan. Let's start with the general plan of digestive system. That the second part will be the esophagus. It is muscular tube through which small bolus of the food passes from the mouth and the stomach is. Okay, the gastroesophageal sphincter going to control the movements of the food into the stomach. Okay, whereas the stomach, there will be, it is the muscular bag, we know that, and going to uh, poison. Okay, and that positions that with the upper left part of the abdominal cavity, and it has four parts, that cardiac region, fundus region, the proper body of stomach and the pyloric portion that of the stomach. So the cardiac part going to it present close to the heart, hence known as the cardiac part. Okay. So the opening of the esophagus to the stomach is regulated by the gastroesophageal sphincter. Okay. The sphincter, the some wall type membrane type structure, okay, which going to protect the that reversal uh, reversal uh, performance of the ingested food. But at some time, if you going to omit, so this in these cases, the sphincter opens reversally and going to get then the vomit is going to come out. Okay. So the fundus at the second part will be the fundus region of the stomach. So it dome shaped like structure and going to usually filled with the air. Okay. And then the body of the stomach, so this will be the main part of the stomach. Okay. Then will be the pyloric part, that will be the at the basal part. It opens in the first part of the small intestine, that is nothing but the duodenum. And the opening of the stomach in the small intestine is regulated by the pyloric sphincter. Again, there will be this pyloric sphincter as like as the gastroesophageal sphincter in the upper direction. Okay. So that sphincter going to get control and going to regulate the stomach into the small intestine, the passage. Okay. Which opens into the duodenum. Then will be the small intestine, it the longitudinal part of the alimentary canal, as we all know, and it comprises the three part, that nothing but the duodenum, jejunum and the ileum. Okay. So these three part, we will see the histological structures of these three part also, and going to get connect with the duodenum, and it is the C-shaped the its shape is like the capital C shape. Okay. And the pancreatic bile and the hepatic secretions, which are going to get secreted by means of uh, the digestive glands. Okay. So they are added to the fold by hepatocardiac ducts, and these hepatocardiac ducts going to open into the duodenum. Okay. So the second part will be the small intestine is jejunum, uh, is the middle part of the small intestine, just and going to having with the connections with the metabolism, and going to having some absorption purposes. Okay. With the microvilli cells and all these things are present into the jejunum and the ileum. So it highly coiled structure, the ileum structure is, and going to open into the large intestine, where your appendix region, which going to connect with the large intestine into the to the small intestine. So the large intestine, the small intestine leads into the large intestine. So it has three parts, that cecum, the very first part will be the cecum, colon and the rectum. Okay. So the cecum part is developed into the ruminant. Okay. The ruminants which going to churning of their food, they're going to like cow, cat. Okay. So sorry, cat is not ruminant. The uh, cow families. Okay. So they're going to get ingest first food. Okay. And that they going to get into the cecum. Okay. And then they again protrude out and going to that masticate it. Okay. Again, and then going to get again insert. Okay. So the cecum part having some cellulose digested bacteria are present to the ruminants. Okay. And which is developed into the ruminants. Okay. So we having the cecum part, but it having the part of the large intestine itself. So the colon and the rectum, okay, the cecum, it is the small sac like structure going to contain the symbiotic microorganisms in the humans also, and going to the vermiform appendix, that is nothing but the cecum. And the it is the vestigial organ, as the humans says it, the vestigial organ. So it's attached to the large intestine. uh, then the colon, okay, the second part, it is divided into the four regions that are ascending, transverse, and sigmoid, and the descending colon. Then will be the third part, that will be the rectum, it opens into the anus. Okay, so this will be the explanation of the all digestive system. So the basic structure pattern of the alimentary canal wall, as I you say, see in this picture. Okay, so these will be the intrinsic nerve plexus and all these things you are going to see into the uh, layer of the serosa layer. So get you will be get touch with the these particular glands of the submucosa and all these things into the latter, but let's focus on the mucosa, submucosa, and the serosa. So this will be the three part, as I explained the general plan of alimentary canal you for you people before the digestive system. Okay, so the mucosa, submucosa, and the serosa will be the main layers of the digestive tract, all over the digestive tract, and this sequence from the inner lumen to the outermost covering is not going to change. Okay, after the lumen, there will be mucosa, then will be the submucosa and the serosa. As I highlighted the structures into the different colors, the name patterning. Oh, okay. So the mucosa contains the epithelium layer, the lamina propria layer, the muscularis mucosa layer. Okay. Then the submucosa will be the uh, second most part. Okay, it contains the muscularis externa. Okay, going to having with the longitudinal muscle sections, and then the circular muscle sections. Okay, and then will be the last part, that is nothing but the serosa, the outermost covering. Okay, and this serosa contains the epithelium, mesothelium, that is nothing but the mesothelium layer. Okay, from the outermost layer. Then will be the middle layer of serosa will be the connective tissues. Then will be the lumen cells. Okay, the sorry, the lumen is different. Sorry. So it having only the epithelium and the connective tissue cells. Okay, the lumen, as you can see in the inner structure where the food, the semi digested food is going to pass from that structures. Okay, and the lumen and the mucosa associated lymphoid tissues, as you can see. Okay, you will see some glands. There will be the glands in mucosa, there will be the glands in submucosa, there will be glands in serosa. That glands are going to having the duct. Okay, and as you can see the lumen is uh, going to get touch with the glands in submucosa, they having the ducts. Okay, so they are not ductless glands, they having its own ducts and going to secrete some enzymes which are helpful into the digestion purposes. Okay, so this will be the basic structural pattern of the alimentary canal wall. Okay, so let's start with the esophagus. Okay, so we will we will stop here and we will meet in the next session, and we will start with the esophagus. Okay, so let's meet into the next session.